My earlier self would have never imagined that this kind of work or life or anything is even possible. Hi, I'm Niharika and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a bit different. I usually do not script my videos anyway, but then there is a set of points I talk about. And we don't have that today because I just feel that there are some things I really want to talk about, and they don't necessarily need to be scripted, they just need to be valuable for you. And I will be uploading this closer to New Year's as 2022 ends, and I hope that these points can help you elevate and improve your quality of life in the year ahead and in subsequent years ahead. Money, right? I wish more people spoke about how much money they make and how they make it, because it's just that we are told to follow this simple template of going to school, studying really hard for exams, then studying really hard for competitive exams, then going to undergrad, then going to postgrad, then having a job, then struggling for 10 years, then getting money, and already have increased responsibilities with like your wedding and having kids. And I'm not sure if we need to do that just because previous generations have been doing that. And I come from a place of, I don't know if this has been the reality of you guys, but growing up, we didn't have abundance of money. That's the reason that we still have that mindset that we will not just unnecessarily spend money or buy something too expensive. I still shop in sales because I already know that something will be for 50% off, so why would I pay the entire price? And that mentality is now improving, but it's just so ingrained because that's what we saw as kids. That's what my parents saw when they were kids and when they were struggling, and that's what their parents saw when they were like not even educated and just working hard to survive. But times have changed, yet we are just following the same template. When I talk on LinkedIn about self employment, people think that I'm shitting on people who are employed, and that's not true because I am not shitting on anyone. I am cheering for do what works for you and not what the society says that you must. And if you are a creative person, or if you are stuck in a place that you just do not find belongingness and purpose, and then you know what exactly I'm talking about, because I was you a year and a half ago when you're doing everything in your capability to show up and work, but something doesn't feel right and you don't know what that something is. And when everything is just not as good as how you expect it to be and everything feels slow, but that's because your strength lies elsewhere. But with the education system that we have and the environment that we have, very few people are in an environment where others help them bring out their unique selves. Please do your best to be financially independent. I cannot emphasize enough on how, especially as a woman, how strong it makes you feel when you're financially independent, how empowered you feel. And you know, the funny thing is, it has nothing to do with money. It just gives you this power of decision making that you do not otherwise have when you have to ask somebody for money. Point being, please, I hope that 2023 is the year and like the coming years that you work extremely hard and find your way to be financially independent, because it's so important and not talked about as often, especially in our society. Your self-worth. So if you're someone who was told that you're not good enough and you got bullied and your teachers told you that you're just incapable, your parents put you down, then let me tell you that yes, damage is done, but it can be undone and you can start working on it now. Very few of us are fortunate enough that our environment empowers us to be more confident and independent and just know ourselves better and know our strengths. But because not all of us are as lucky, we have to work hard towards it. Sadly, many of us don't even know that something like this exists, right? For instance, if I did my inner work and self work 5 years ago, I wouldn't have spent so much money doing my master's and then slogging for 3 years in both the jobs that I did not enjoy and which did not pay me well, just because I thought that's the way to be and there's no other reality. Nobody as such, and by nobody I also mean myself. I take full responsibility that I was so engrossed in the world outside and being connected on Instagram and being connected to others but not being connected with myself, that I didn't know where my creator streak lies, where my it's just that I had no idea what my strength is. And wait, before you name what your strength is, I don't want you to name it for the heck of it, because I think most of us are so engineered to write our strengths in our CVs. But please pause. That may not necessarily be your strength. Please take some time out to know yourself better and your strength, because then you can work on it, maybe someday capitalize it, but then you can work on it and enhance it, learn some more, have some fun with it. But the reality of many is that many people will never even find it, because they will just not take our time to find themselves. And I just feel it's a shame to live when you don't find yourself. I mean, you are the only person you will live with forever. So why not find that amazing person that lays inside? Relationships, and I will start this by saying that I lost many people this year, and in the past 15 months or so. And it all started with my surgery when a lot of people who I thought were friends and who only stayed like 5 minutes away did not even text me to check up on me. And then it just kept adding on, right? Like people who I thought were close friends, not close friends, but like good friends, would not even wish me on my birthday. And I had this incident where somebody actually sent me save the date for their wedding and did not invite me for the main wedding. But that wasn't the hurtful part. Like, I just found that amusing and funny. And yeah, I think a lot of people were just gone from my life in the past 1 year, and I am so happy that happened, because in the beginning it may feel bad that why does this happen and you're a nice person, why would others do this? But then when you realize that for the good stuff to happen, the average and below average and terrible stuff needs to weed out. And this is just the universe's way of surrounding you with quality. So when you have, or I don't know, like if you are going through something like this in your life, or you may in the future, then obviously try your best to mend relationships, but also know that some relationships are just not meant to be, and that's fine, because we do not lead life with 10 or 30 people around us. We just need a few people who are there for us no matter what. For instance, I have this core group of school friends, and we don't talk or FaceTime every week or every month. And we probably talk the most just like twice a year to wish each other happy birthday. Yet, these were the people who stood by me when I was so low mentally and physically after my surgery, which left me on bed for 4 weeks. These are the people who even, I mean, came early on my wedding and had a lot of fun and just were there by me. And imagine for 10 years, we don't talk as much as we used to in a boarding school, and that's okay because we're all adulting. At the same time, there were so many people who I would talk to often, but they weren't there. So I think life has its way of showing you who's meant to be and who isn't. That being said, that the people who are there, please take our time for them and nourish those relationships. And the thing about relationships is, like I said, when we were talking about money, you cannot buy your way into having good relationships. You just have to give the finite, which you will never get back, which is your time. And that's the only thing that nurtures relationships: time, effort, and kindness. So I encourage you not to take relationships for granted. Sometimes, we see people who disappear from our lives and then they want to come back and then suddenly make all that effort. But like personally, when I have experienced someone like that, I do not really have space for them, because it's it's just about convenience, right? Like it's convenient for that person to go and come back, but that doesn't mean you're always ready to be a friend again. So please nurture relationships, and when people are not meant to be, it's painful, but let them go. I'm going to talk about something that you already know and you probably don't want to hear, so I'm going to keep it super short, right? And I'll start with a personal story. It's not really a personal story, it's just like random facts that I've seen in both the companies that I worked in, and even generally with people around. I do not see as many people working out, and I don't know why, because your body, it's if you're not fit outside, like even inside, but like if you're not fit in general, if you're not eating healthy and you are not keeping fit, then how do you expect to have world-class performance and world-class results? How do you expect to be happy and healthy if you're just not even putting an effort to be fit? Food is your fuel, and if you're putting absolute crap in your body, then obviously that will make your head and your body feel pathetic as well. And it's not that hard, because I lost 25 kilos without dieting, and also when I had PCOD, also when I had both my ligaments torn in my knees so I could not run or jog. And people market being healthy as these really strict diets, but what it essentially means is just not having junk. So you eliminate junk and you're already like halfway into being healthy, just having home food, and obviously you can continue having your chocolates and desserts and everything. But it's all about moderation. So instead of having like one Coke every week or every day, have it once a month. Hopefully never, but once a month. Like I only drink Coke if I'm traveling, but so that's just me. I'm not going to compare my journey to yours, but it just takes, what I'm trying to say is it takes really small steps for being healthy that have massive results. So I encourage you to try it out, and you can just start that by working out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. That can just be like listening to a podcast and walking, if nothing else, or just stretching. Check out this YouTube channel called Yoga with Adrian. She's the reason I started doing yoga. And if you can, then just meditate for 3 minutes using the Headspace app, and just limiting your eating out and junk intake. So I hope this video just helped you get into a perspective. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I just feel that we are here on this earth for a purpose, but most of us do not know that purpose. Most of us will never even work to find it. Most of us will fall into the trap that is set around us, that everyone is living an average life, so I should live an average life as well. Everyone is struggling way too much, I should also struggle way too much and reinvent the wheel. And it just doesn't need to be that way. And I think the purpose of living is obviously to be happy and do our best that people around us in our societies and our communities can be happy, and empower them in any way if we can. So I hope this video helps you just find a part of yourself that you haven't found yet and get that part healthy and working and happy, just so you live a better quality life.